How are you feeling? You guys, today was your 10th practice?
Today will be our 10th practice.
Where-
So we're pretty healthy. That's the big thing. When you're trying to get through October and be healthy, I think that's first and foremost. And obviously you don't have a lot of control over that. But, with the new rules that happened 2 or 3 years ago where you got 42 days before your opener to practice 30, give the guys 12 days off somewhere in those 42 days, it does give coaches I think a better ability to feel your players out when they're tired, when they're fatigued. So we'll go through this month where we actually give them the first 2 weeks. We go 4 days on, 1 day off. When we get to this weekend, it'll be their first 2 days off, and we'll go 2 days off and then get into a pattern of 3 on, 1 off, 3 on, 1 off, and then after our closed scrimmage, we'll give them 2 days off before we get into the brunt of our schedule again. So it does give us some flexibility, and then if we are banged up, you have some flexibility where in the old days when it was the 15th, you're cramming things in, you're really under the gun, and days off you don't like. And so that's been a positive. And then I think the Australia trip really helped us because it got us ahead of the game. When we came back to practice in October, our guys were already a little bit refreshed on what we're trying to do offensively and defensively.
Seemed like leadership was an issue last year. Are you looking for somebody to emerge in that role, and could it possibly be even one of the freshmen?
Well, yeah, I think Lonzo will have something to do with that, but we don't. He's going to have enough on him too. I think Bryce and Isaac have done a really good job through the Australia trip and here early in the season of being not just vocal, but being two seniors that are. You want them to emulate kind of the style, of what a defensive stop means to the team, what getting a good shot means to the team, the competitive edge of winning. And those are two guys that have been through it. They've been through two Sweet 16s, a Pac-12 championship, and they've been through a losing season. So they've been through both. They know what tastes good and what tastes bad. And so those are the most natural leaders that we have. But I think you're going to see Aaron step up what he does in leadership, and I think you'll see Lonzo as a freshman to be able to be a very good leader as well.
In what ways are you seeing Lonzo assert himself in the early going here?
Well, the pace of play, and that's what we need, and to have a big guard. We did not have a big guard last year, and that affected a lot of things, both offensively and defensively. Having somebody 6'6", long, athletic, with a big basketball IQ, that just helps us. It gives us more ways that we can play and play the way we like to play. Predominantly right now we're seeing the offensive end just because of the ability to create and get guys open looks. And he's doing a very good job of going downhill offensively. And we've talked to him, we've shown him film, we want him going even faster because I think he's got the ability to play at a really good pace. And I think we've got guys around him that can play at that pace. And now you go through October trying to develop that trust. And that's really what we're doing now.
How do you see, as a guy who comes in with such expectations on him, how do you see him carry that?
Well, it's early. I think Australia helped because he immediately got to play against older guys. He's playing against 30-year-olds, and 2 months before that he was playing against 15 and 16-year-olds. So he got a good taste of that, and I think that was a good, not so wake-up call, but just a good experience for him to go through that and understand the hype that was around him, and much deserving. And you become player of the year, and you win a state championship in this state, and you go undefeated, there's going to be a lot of hype around you, and you've deserved to bring that hype. But you also got to realize that once you start college, a lot of those things have nothing to do with anything. It is a start over. It is a new level, just like when you get to the NBA. What you did in college, it means nothing. It's a whole new game. And so he's learning that, and that's stuff that I want to try to help him with because as a player, I went through a lot of those things. And, as a 19-year-old, I'm an Olympian. Those are a lot of things that I have had personal experiences with. Of the hype's great, and you always like people hyping you and saying good things about you, and all that's great. But in the end, he's playing for the reason I played. We love the game of basketball, and I don't want him to ever lose that. And so we saw some of that in Australia, some frustration, and I'm glad it happened in August versus November and December. Not that there won't be frustrating times once the season starts, but I think that experience really helped him to understand, this is a game. Go play it, love it, and when he does that, more times than not, he's going to come out on top just because of his talent.
This is presumably the last year you'll coach your son. Have you thought about that? And
No, not. I try to just keep things in perspective. I've been blessed. I've said how long I was blessed that I was able to coach Corey. Corey walked on for me 2 years at New Mexico and 2 years here, and he was a part of 2 Sweet 16s and 3 league titles and 2 league titles, 3 league tournament titles, and a lot of wins. And now being a video coordinator here and getting to work alongside one of your sons, and now you're coaching one of them. I'm totally blessed. Like I answered that question, I love the game. I turned 52 in November, so to be in my 50s now and still playing or coaching the game of basketball, I'm extremely blessed. And to have your sons a part of that, that makes it even that much more special. And in Bryce's case, very similar to Isaac. Isaac obviously didn't get to play that first year because of a sit-out. Has had a very, very good career, and he's tasted the good things, and then last year he tasted the bad thing. And now to see him and Isaac just with a different edge to them, that's good because they've got that edge, and both of them are really talented. So just want them to have fun and have a really good senior year, because he and Isaac are very deserving of it, because I know how much time they spend in film. I know how much time they spend individual workouts and working on their game. So hopefully always you want your seniors to be healthy, stay healthy, and have a great senior year. And obviously I hope Isaac and Bryce has that.
Bryce shot the ball really well in Australia. Do you think that's...
Well, he's been shooting the ball very well, mainly because we're able to get him off the ball some. He's been under a lot of pressure, though, especially the last year and a half, where we've told him, bring the ball up, get us in the offense, don't turn the ball over. Get the ball in the right position at the right time. Oh, by the way, score for us. Make sure you're trying to defend at the other end. Playing 36, 37 minutes, a lot of minutes. Now I'm hoping minutes not just for him, but we can get more efficient with those 4 guards, because we've got 4 very talented guards, high-level guards, in Isaac, Bryce, Aaron, and Lonzo. So those guys are going to get a lot of minutes. It's about keeping them fresh and efficient with those minutes, and I think we can do that better this year if we stay healthy. And then you're going to get Prince. At some point, you'll get Prince back, and you'll get even deeper in the backcourt. So I think seeing Lonzo and now the development of Aaron has really done a very nice job developing at the point position as well. But with Bryce out there, you're at least playing a couple combo guys at once. And so ball handling, we're seeing through 10 practices and even our Australia trip, not only has he been shooting the ball well, but Isaac's getting better shots, and our assist turnover ratio has been phenomenal for this time of year. Usually this time of year, a lot of teams have more turnovers than assists, and we've had 2 practices where we've had 30-plus assists and fewer than 10 turnovers, which is phenomenal for a team this early in the season. And I think it has a lot to do with not just our guard play, but our bigs handle the ball as well. But that's going to be a big key for us this year, is getting Bryce free and getting him some good looks, because he's worked on his strength, he's worked on his quickness, and we're seeing deeper range out of him. And being able to play a little faster with Lonzo and the development of Aaron, I think, is going to be key.
What's it been like for you to sort through all the different lineup combinations that you could have, especially with all the guards involved?
Yeah, and with Prince being out, in practices, we've really pretty much predominantly just split Lonzo and Aaron and Bryce and Isaac. So it's when you see practice, but I think that's going to help the development, because you got Aaron and Zoe going against each other, and you got Isaac and Bryce going against each other. So it's, when you're defending those, that's a tough defense every day, and offensively you got to work on your game as well. But there are going to be a lot of combinations, because for the first time, again, hopefully we stay healthy, but for my first time in 4 years, we have a deep front court. We've never had a deep front court, and we've got guys. You look at what Alex Olashinsky did in Australia, and Gigi's healthy now. Gigi wasn't healthy the entire year last year. You got a TJ Leaf, who's a very talented freshman, and then you got Tom and Ike. We haven't had that kind of depth up front, so it gives us some versatility up front that we just haven't had.
How do you feel about the schedule?
Brutal, tough, very difficult. It's going to hit us very quickly. We got 4 games here at home. 2 of those 4 teams are extremely experienced. Then we go to Anaheim and play in a very difficult preseason non-conference tournament. We've got Ohio State in Vegas, a much improved team with a lot of veterans back. We're playing Michigan at home with a new home and home series with Michigan, which will be very demanding. So, and then we obviously got to play at Kentucky. So we've got that one true road game that's going to be very difficult. It is nice having our exempt tournament close and our Champions Classic close, playing in Vegas and playing an exempt tournament here versus we've had years where we've played in the Bahamas and then had to go to New York City to play in that Champions deal. So to have one Classic in Vegas and the other tournament here locally, it does help us in travel because our only extensive travel in the non-conference will be the Kentucky game. So though the schedule is very demanding, I do like the travel schedule going into league play because I hopefully we'll be a little bit more rested going into league play because it's another year we have to start league play on the road, and that'll be a demanding road trip at the Oregons.
With TJ and UK, what has surprised you the most about these two early on?
Well, a lot of the hype has been around TJ and Lonzo, and rightly so. TJ is very talented, very gifted, can play inside out. He can stretch to the three-point line. He's very good with the ball. You'll see us play him a lot like Caban in that he gets rebounds, he goes. He doesn't have to worry about an outlet, and that gives you a big point forward at places. Good rebounding big. And then Ike has been not a surprise. He's just been somebody at 6'9.5", 255, 260. It's a big 17-year-old. You don't make 17-year-olds like that. And so his size and his athleticism, he's a shot blocker, he's a rebounder. He can be a different kind of center for us than what Tom is. Tom doesn't just have low block game. He's a pick and pop, stretch you, shoot the ball kind of guy, where Ike's a rim-to-rim runner. And we need a shot blocker. We haven't had a rim presence defensively, and I think Ike will really help our defense, even though he's a freshman. I think he's going to really have a lot to do with what we do defensively.
You were disappointed enough after last season to write that public letter. Given the convergence of the talent you've got this year and all the solid returning core, how important is this season to you personally?
Well, every year becomes very important to us. We know where the bar is at UCLA. That's part of being at UCLA because you know where Coach Wooden and what this place is all about, and it's about winning. That's why you look at Lonzo, you look at TJ, you look at Ike. It's why they're here. It's a winning culture, and we just want to get back to playing the way we like to play. We messed around with doing too many different things last year, and obviously personnel can dictate some of that. But we're going to get back to doing what we do offensively and defensively and staying true to what we believe in and just trying to make sure we're getting better every month. And last year, for the first time in a long time with my teams, we didn't get better month to month, and that's what was frustrating. And we ended up having a bad year. And so now what do you do moving forward, and how do you handle that adversity? And the veterans have handled it as well as I could anticipate because of how hard they worked. The freshmen have been great in interjecting what they are. We got a practice facility that we're opening up next year where the 17 class is shaping up extremely well. So we got some momentum. Though we haven't played a game yet, there's a lot of movement and momentum in what we're doing, and we just want to keep moving that forward.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thanks.